Warp Core Online Captain. Reactor Core Online Captain. I think we are Online Captain. Who the hell's Captain? Stop saying that. Right? Refresh, refresh. Holy crap, I'm alive. I love the smell of fireworks in the morning. That's for damn sure. Oh, what's that? I can't show my own face, you're right. That would be illogical. Oh, that didn't look good. I'm here, it's okay. We're gonna be just fine, folks. Just playing around right now. Just playing around. In the event that you could hear me, would you please tell me that by... That would be punching your computer. There we go. I don't have that damn echo thing, right? That's crooked. That crooked looks crooked. There we go. There I am. I'm thinking the beard looks better. ECAT, thank you. Tonight feels bad. Oh, got it. Live chat. Well, how do these people like wander into this room? Thank you. Holy crap, they wrote stuff. How you doing, guys? If you guys want to come on in here and be part of it, you can. Just let me know. I'll open up a Zoom room and we'll do that whole thing. That's like a paradox right now, probably, huh? We should try change the screen. Yeah, that'd be good, Chris. Let's try center screen and engage. Well, look at that. What do we have here? Interesting. Very interesting, Captain. Well, we have a myriad of different avenues here to go in. One of my things I wanted to see done, oh, yes, I don't like Caratol, is clear up some Patriot stuff and other things. I'm not going to dive too deep here in QAnon stuff, that's for sure, because I don't think that's needed right now. I think what we need to do is look at the big picture and take things down from there. So we'll bring that up later. Who likes Nazis? Look at that, Nazis. Thanks, Joe Biden. Thanks, Obama. Okay. We're a little behind. That's okay, though. We can do that. So, this is my favorite all-time video or slideshow. I mean, the NSA did it above and beyond anything they ever could have done here. This is just, it's so amazing. Come on, F11. I guess I got full screen. I don't know. It's weird. Try it again, Bob. All right, it's not doing it. Okay, got it. So, I'm not trying to impress you, but I'm Batman. GCHQ, the Art of Deception. This is what's happening to Americans right now. This is why there's a right against the left right now. This is why Antifa and Black Lives Matter are running around amok, and why patriots are coming to this fork in the road where they're like, I'm just being a patriot. Why am I the bad guy here? I believe in my country. I said I pledge allegiance. I'm not a racist because I believe in the law. I get along with everybody, mostly. I don't need to know what sex type you are. It doesn't matter. Just do your job. Do what you need to do. If you need help with something, let me know. We'll do it. Right? That's basically a patriot. They believe in God-given rights and privileges from God, not the state. You can't take them away unless you go through a process. You can't stick a person in prison for months and months and years on end in solitary confinement because they might say something you don't want them to say. It doesn't work that way. And whether the written word or the spoken word should be free. Right, wrong, or indifferent, it should be able to be expressed in any platform. And that's our problem. And people don't understand exactly what degree that they are being manipulated, put in little boxes from one end of the country to the other, from a website to the other website. And we're going to go over this stuff and we're going to look at it. And I got so much information that it'll blow your mind. What I will do is I'm going to look at the chat here real quick and see if I need to do anything else. Absolutely. Baba. Chris. Show up on the channel. Weird delay. Yeah, isn't there a weird delay? Is it still going right now? In a weird delay? Blantifa. Yeah. So, well, hello everybody. That's nice. I probably won't be able to look at too much. You guys, some of you guys have my number and stuff. Just message me if there's something important, or call me. My el teléfono es here. Okay, our deception. So, to be straight, forward, honest, so you understand what we're talking about here. This is GCHQ. England's version of the NSA that we help fund half of. Okay, no delay here, good. So we help fund half of this. The reason being, they're part of Five Eyes, which is, I believe now it's 22 Eyes, or at least, is so that when we have domestic issues that we need taken care of to circumvent the law, we say, hey buddy, England, Australia, Canada, whatever, this guy right here that I'm not pointing at needs to be listened to, and then you get that information to give back to me, okay? So that way I don't have to go through any laws or anything like that, because you just gave it to me. And then I'll do the same for you, and you, and you, and you, okay? And so there you go. That's your government working not for you, but against you, because that's the purpose of government, is to protect you with your consent. Huh, what is this crazy stuff? Boop. Most of you have seen this. Maybe not. I'm pretty sure you have. Human Science Operations Cell. That sounds really nifty, doesn't it? Cell pin gap. Yeah. So, I think, ooh, what, don't too big there, Chris. Get that all the time. Screwing up the screen, dummy. All right, there we go. Wow. JTRIG. Huh. Hey, Ren, what do you think this is? Well, Snippy, basically, it's pulling the wool over America's eyes. Yeah. Online, human, something in intelligence and network and stuff like that. Strategic influence, disruption, and CNA. We'll go over what those are because they're in the slideshow. That really sounds weird that they would do influence operations on the American people or English people, or the Muslim Brotherhood would help do it to the Middle East, right? That's weird. With the help of, like, I don't know, a Googly, and, or let's say Telegram, or maybe Twitter, or Uranus. Yeah. So there you go. What had happened during the Obama administration is they decided that they needed to use psychology to help present information to the American public so that they would be more understanding and it would be palatable for them to digest and accept. Doesn't that sound nice and wonderful? Want to just give each other a big hug right now? It sounds so nice. So, these are some of the parts of it. Anthropology, psychology, I don't know what that is. Weird word. Economics, biology, political science, history, and sociology. All very, very interesting different parts of the human psyche and what makes you you. And there are things that can be done both as a operative or as a technology company, like big tech, to influence your emotional well-being for the day. How you start off your day, your week, your morning, how you accept the game that you just watched, whatever it is. And they have been spending years and years and years to get this down. Yeah, con game. Actually, we should call it a big coin game. COIN, because that's what it is. It's a coin game. That's for disruption campaign for like ISIS does coin. They go in and they destroy the civilization they currently have, the social networks and the bonds you have with each other, and the whole structure of society that you have gets destroyed, and a portion of those people get taken out, and then there's another portion left. Some of those people are like, yeah, whatever you say, whatever you say. And the other people are like, I don't think we should do whatever they say. And then something else hits them again. They come at them again, and then they hammer those people. And then when people are left, they're like, yeah, we should probably do what they said. And the other one's like, yeah, sure should. That's what the coin process ends up doing. You can see here, you get into all sorts of other things here, like influence operations. You got magic, deception. So on magic here, they're not really doing magic, but there's sleight of hand type stuff. There's trickery. Like you'd have somebody look at a screen and the orange people disappear. And you're like, what the hell? Where'd the orange people go? Oh, there they are. Okay. But where'd they go? And so they're messing with you in your mind to get you to feel that you're losing your mind. Personality, you use that to influence that. Your trust, elicitation, your beliefs, your religion. None of these things here have been a component of nobody's life over the last 5 years that has been a wedge driven between you and your significant others or your family members. None of these right here. Neuroscience, evolutionary biology, global trends, key leader engagements, social networks, obedience, compliance. Right? Obedience and compliance with social networking. Ethnography, dyslexia sucks, man. Culture. So when a dumb chef stands up there in front of Congress and he says to you that Americans are being radicalized, what he's saying is these operations here have created something in you. They've created a monster of some sort. And that's now out of control, and so they need to control you. Oops, wrong one. Sorry. Center. Back to center. There we go, baby. Yep. I can do it. Ripper snapper. There we go. Okay, Ren. So, they create this situation, they create this scenario so that you are jumping through the hoops they want. And they did this with ISIS. They do it with all sorts of groups. They do it Black Lives Matter, Antifa. And that's the gig that they're playing right now. There we go, a little prettier. And what are we doing with it? We're falling for it, man. Hook, line, and sinker. We don't have a defense to it. Nothing at all. So they break it down. You can look these different strategies up, the JTRIG up. They're companies, private companies, contractors for the government to help run operations. There are branches of the military that do it. Cyber magicians, yep, we've seen those. Online covert actions and accreditation. So, online covert actions. Would you think of ever there being a terrorist red cell on in Facebook? Would you ever think about that? You probably wouldn't, because who would put a terrorist red cell in your Facebook? We would. Ta-da! Thank you very much. And with that said, when somebody loses their shift and they do something that's illegal and hurts other people, and let's say they had an undercover FBI agent sell them the explosives and stuff, or the gun or whatever they did, Is that entrapment? Because I had this argument with a person the other day, and they said it's not entrapment. It's because you should have known the difference between right and wrong. My point being is, well, that's one thing if you aren't being psychologically manipulated all the time by what you're doing and where you're going. So this is all contoured to, what are you? Are you a conservative? Are you a liberal? Are you a communist, Marxist? What are you? Are you a man, a woman? Are you a white man with a black lesbian woman stuck inside you? You know, what is it? And they find all the psychological triggers for you, and they make a nice little lane for you, and they keep you in there so you can't talk to other people that would get you to outside that box, like from the East Coast to West Coast. And out here in California, I don't know how many people I've spoken to who don't know who George Webb is. And I was like, what? Old timers do. People when he saw him when he first came out, and stick with his channels being switched all the time, but that's done on purpose. Online, individuals, groups, global. Oh, so they could just individually mess with you, or as a group. We've never seen that. And globally, we definitely have never seen that. Psychological, deception, performance, media, professionalism, elegance, creative, and intuition. So these are all different areas that they're going to manipulate you in. Like, for instance, let's say you had 6 hard drives on your computer, and you were to disconnect all 6 of those, but yet your computer still saw 2 of those. What would you say is going on there? I'm just saying, not that I have not seen it, I have seen that. I'm just saying, what would you think is going on there? I don't know, I can show you my updates from Microsoft where it says ghost drives on them, on my computer and the logs. I can see that. Yep. Now, look at all this fine detail here. I'm not sure how good that's coming up on the screen here. My stupid head. So, oh, stop it. Stop it. Stab it. I've personally been manipulated by these, whether it's my computer not working, or mysteriously finding a person that had the answer that I needed, or sometimes I needed some information and I just found it. I didn't look for it, it just found it. Whether it was an email or a website I opened up, and there it was. You know, it's kind of like you were directed. Behavior influence, Hofstede dimensions. I believe that's a psychological term. I'm not a doctor, but I play one on YouTube. Thank you. Decision is emotional, not rational. Okay, they can push you in these different directions here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. You're kind of getting an idea of it. I'm beating a dead horse here, but this is something people need to get a grip on. They need to understand that all these different things here with propaganda, hindsight biased. Oh yeah, confirmation biased, anchoring. So they put us in groups that will help reinforce our belief systems, basically, and do things like going to January 6th. I had people that I hadn't spoken to in a year or 6 months calling me, hey, you gonna go? You gonna go? Yeah, where you stay? Where do you stay? Yeah, I think so. I want to, but oh, yep, I've got a colonoscopy. I can't make it. Which turned out to be a good thing, right? So they get more and more detailed. If they want to mess with your actual computer, they can. They want to mess with your friend, you can. You and your friends, they can. They want to mess with your groups, they can. They want to mess with your country, they can. And they do that. And this is part of what's going on here, where Adam Schiff stands there and goes, you are radicalized online. You are now a domestic terrorist. Or the FBI says that BS, which I don't think this last document that came out was from the FBI. Like the first one was a forgery, and nobody called him on it until the Joe Petto was running for president. Then they had to answer for it. They had to say something about that. And then they were like, oh yeah, we didn't put that out. That's not a real document. Why would they let a forgery go? Why would they let that out there? Aren't they the FBI? Aren't they for the truth? They just let it go. But need to understand that this is not just a one-time, one-off thing. It's been happening for at least 20 years now. The internet started, it started too. One of the things I like to point out about Hillary Clinton and the email situation. Everybody hates the email situation. They're like, enough about the emails. How about this? During the first Clinton administration in '97, they were the first White House to get email. They saw that there was a conflict in the system with the encryption stuff, and they were able to get rid of about 1.2 million emails. And so after the administration was over with in 2000, they had a congressional hearing where they went over where the 1.2 million emails were. Guess who had to testify? Mills? Podesta? What? No way. And there are some other people too involved. I can't remember them right now. And Hillary, of course. But then the people in Congress, like Paul Ryan and Bernie Sanders and that jack-o'-my-ass guy, and he's got his glasses on. He's down in Florida there as a reporter guy now because his aide somehow died that was pregnant with his kid thing. Yeah, that guy too. They were all there, and they could have said it the second time, hey, why does this keep happening to you? Like, your friends keep dying. Why does your email keep disappearing? Right? Nope. Crickets. Crickets, part of the complicit. Okay. This is just here to show you that, yes, they get your emails. Tucker Carlson. Yep, they nailed you, buddy. Don't let them fool you. Web pages, blogs, LinkedIn. LinkedIn's, oh, that's it's a CIA deal, man. DARPA, news, media, global. Anyways, it's your Twitter account, your iPhone, your Messenger, your Facebook, and everything. They are in it knee deep. I make one thing like another. This is a weird one. I don't know. Something's going on here. I can't see it. It's just creepy. There's a kid there, and I don't know. I see the rabbit, see the seagull. Ding, ding. Look one way, look the other. Okay, but this is just all getting back to how you need to know that the deception is there. So when you're being deceived online and you're being manipulated through subversion, misinformation and disinformation by the government, then when you commit something and they want to put you in prison for it, or jail for it, or fine you for it, or take your rights away, isn't that fraud? That's fraudulent in my book. That's totally entrapment and fraud. So, yeah. Brand names. Pepsi is big in Iraq, by the way, not Coke. Not Coca-Cola. This is that little coin thing I was telling you about, how it goes up and down, up and down. I love this. People make decisions as part of a group. People make decisions for emotional reasons, not rational ones. Huh. Think about that. Who runs around saying emotional things without the proof all the time? Who goes around saying the truth with the proof and is called a liar, a racist? Seed, convert, share. Yep. Do you know how many Muslim countries hated Obama? You never saw that, though. There was all sorts of stuff about it. They hated his guts. Fresh ground buffalo. Is it really a spaceship? Or is it something to deceive you? Anyways, one of the things that they were able to do is they were able to connect into every single device that you have out there, hardware, software, follow you from one node to the next through every social media platform from cradle to grave. And if you're not in it, you really are. You just haven't put your name in it yet because they have your information through other people talking about you. Mimicry. So if you were to walk around and say that somebody's hacking into your stuff, they would call you crazy. If you're going around saying that things change on your computer, they would say you're crazy. They would say if you were pissed off that the elections weren't turning out the way you thought they were, because when you went to bed they were one way, and when you got up the next day they were another way, and every other time in history that would have been a problem, and this time it's not, you're crazy. Okay? Statistically, we can prove in so many different ways that the election was not okay. Who are you? Exactly, right? Because by the time they're done messing with you, you don't know who we are. Block, turn, fix, disrupt. Now, you might be saying, come on, Chris, really? Are they really doing things like that? Can you prove they're really doing things like that, right? Just because this one little PowerPoint presentation here? Huh. Report, volume 2. Crypto report on election, huh? The art there. Oh, what's this here? Huh. What does this look like? This is like a program called Iris. It might even be secret. Huh. And this is some features that it has. Configuration beacon, intervals, jitter, standalone. Huh. Communication encryption from your device, but it uses a special language to get in there and do that. That's weird. Uh-oh, Skedios. Yeah. Oh, we have to make sure we have the California certification. Yeah, California has their own little mini, like, everything, by the way. You know, just so you know. They're like their own little flippin' communist country. So, yeah, that's weird, huh? It was that, what? No, we don't want to save it. Thank you. Pentagon orders pause across military to address extremism in the ranks. Really? Oh, or is it to flush out all of the Patriots? That's what I'm thinking. Allied Security Operations Group. Do you know that during the Obama and Biden administration that we were in 143 different countries with ISIS and ISIS-type insurgencies using contractors? We didn't have boots on the ground. You have to use boots on the ground because we use contractors. Isn't that nice? We're so nice like that. Let me see here. Yay. Let's see here. What is this one? Dallas County, Texas. Harvard. Yeah. Defense Secretary. No, this is just like part of the election stuff. Okay. We're not going to spend any time on that, really. Something I wanted to bring up to George here in England. They're redoing all the railways and stuff in England. They picked the COVID time to do that. They're like, hey, COVID's coming yet. We don't know about it yet, but it's coming. And then we're going to do all the railways. Okay? So I know for a fact here in the United States that the railroad is actually code for secret pipeline. The national fiber optics and stuff run underneath the railhead, underneath the train tracks. There's all sorts of stuff going underneath there that's secret, protected, whatever you want to call it, because it's the train tracks. And nobody's supposed to dig under them or anything like that around them. And so that's a great way to move everything through a country. Streamlined. So yeah, interesting. Nanotechnology and warfare, that would never be used. Carbon nanotubes, we're not going to get into those today. National security development involving the People's Republic of China. They said they're all good, no bad things happened there, and Joe Biden and Hunter Biden didn't do anything illegal whatsoever and aren't compromised, despite the mounds of evidence otherwise, and saying that when Rudy Giuliani was in Ukraine, that he was actually being influenced by the Russians. Because, that has to be real, because that's what they said, right? Mass surveillance, state control. This is kind of like a little tiny one here. Oh, the fan's got a little vibration to it, doesn't it? Betty. Doo-doo. Nice some video here for you too. The the record. Replacing the throne. That's what they did. Huh. They sure did. I just grabbed a bunch of my different articles I had for this. This is a problem that we need to think about all the time, because this is something we don't look at and we don't ask questions about, is not just human trafficking, but why aren't they talking about it? Because we have, almost 1 million kids go missing a year in the United States, and half of them show up, the other half don't. So we're talking 500,000 kids. That's a lot of kids. Where are they? Why is nobody saying anything about that? That's a lot of effing kids. We know that they're in the systems. That's where they're disappearing from. At any time, the UN can come in the United States because they perceive to be an issue. Just so we're aware of that. And they're creating one right now. World government. I'm sure that'll never be a problem. Incorporating the Bilderberg plan. It's only 2 pages. I'm not going to read it. But Bill Clinton helped with that one too. Didn't George Bush do that too? Yeah. They would never do that to us. Just like there would never be a problem with the 14th Amendment. Right? I don't know. I'm not a constitutional guy. I don't know for sure. I know that there are people really interested in it, though. So, these guys here are being accused of spying on Tucker Carlson. Well, I know that these guys here worked with Akamai and Facebook with their vulnerabilities, and they allowed these guys here and the FBI to go and do whatever they want in your Facebook because of our vulnerabilities. And you were an American citizen in the United States. 7 out of 10 Americans were surveilled during the Obama administration. 7 out of 10. Yep, super duper. And we have companies like Akamai where they are half Chinese, but they run our State Department, our cybersecurity stuff, and FBI, got their own deal, and it's just mind-blowing why we're using those things. But it makes sense why the elections go to shit. If. Okay. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on there, but there's a lot of connections that we need to think about here too. What ends up happening is all the connections from the Pacific and Atlantic come in, and they get truncated down, and then they get siphoned off from there. Both ways, our buddies do that too to our stuff. So that's how they're doing it. And it's for fiber optics. They don't really use regular phone lines. They can. It's a lot of work for them to do now, but they don't like that. They like cell phones and that kind of stuff, fiber optics. Just so we're perfectly clear on that. Yes. Legend. Yep. Tahoe. What the? 7 access sites was Tahoe. It's like my favorite place. Sunnyvale. I spent time in Sunnyvale. My favorite places are horrible. Collections posture. Huh. This is so weird. Look at that. Keep coming up. Look at that. Elegant Echo. I wonder what that is. I'm sure it's not some kind of, program, right? No. Exploit it all. Partner it all. Sniff it all. Sounds like a guy with a drug habit. Know it all. Collect it all. Hey, I think that was my ex. Never mind. Collect it all. Process it all. Right? Stop it. Yes. Let's see here. Collection multi that's interesting. And then we have Australia, Canada, New Zealand. Hi Chris, can you talk more about the FBI and those nasty things? You mean the guys who are coming after Americans right now because they aren't Antifa or Black Lives Matter? The same people that, for 4 years weren't touched for inciting a riot, because that word disappeared from any kind of Department of Justice situation. That's for damn sure. They're like, hey, don't say the incitement to riot thing, okay? Because that would be totally not good for these guys. They would totally get nailed for that, okay? That would be bad. It's like an enhancer to the crime. But God forbid some actors come in and pretend that they're Trump supporters and they do something, and then it's inciting a riot and insurrection. We will look far and wide for all these patriots that are not patriots because they're mad about the election not going the right way, and these instigators pushed them, and then there was psychological operations to manipulate them. Right? Americans have a right to be pissed off about this. Yeah, right? Facebook, you're right. Yep. Okay. So one of the things that we need to look at too, just real quick with the FBI, is you remember hearing about this after the George Floyd thing happened. All these tech companies are like, hey, we're not going to let you use the facial recognition software because that's not fair to the illegal communists and Marxist protesters that are burning down cities in their riots, okay? So we're not going to do that, okay? And so they stopped it. And then what happens for January 6th? Boom! Hello! Here we go again. There you go. Yeah, it's a different story because it's a different political group. It's targeting. Just like the fact that, like the Q shaman, like him or not, bad guy or not, I met his sister. I talked to her for several hours. He seems like a great guy. Don't know him well enough to tell you, but he shouldn't be treated like he is because of what he wants to say. But the evidence that he can use in court has to be from what they give him, which is not everything because there's all sorts of exculpatory evidence that they have, but they can't use evidence that's been out, quote, in the public because it could have been edited, it's not been secured, there's no chain of custody like ballots didn't have, because we can count ballots that don't have a chain of custody. We can't count photographs or a video because there's no way whatsoever for an FBI forensic or NSA guy to look at some digital stuff and go, that's not been edited? I don't know. Yeah. I have no idea how to do that. Right? So he can't use his proof from what people took as evidence. So what's he supposed to use for his evidence? What the state tells him he can't use. That's our boys. That's the FBI. That's what I'm talking about. Where was the FBI when the Sunrise Group was doing their stuff? That's what we're going to get into next. We're going to get into the Sunrise Group. Because those little sons of bees that were brought to us by Millie Weavers. She was the one who brought this here. She totally did. She brought it to our attention, and we didn't do squat about it. Let's see here. What happened there? Uh-oh. There we go. These clowns right here. So what they're doing is they're taking a bunch of kids, high school kids, and they're like, hey, be part of us. You can do it. Day one. Why is that not coming up? Over here. There we go. History of police. So they have all this propaganda that they put out there on police and what's good, what's bad. Remove distractions. Get a beverage. Okay. Yep. Anyways, they were getting together in these social media groups and planning a counter coup against Donald Trump, the President of the United States. In case he didn't want to give up his presidency to the people who stole it, they were going to have people with guns. They were going to block the entrances and exits. People inside government were going to ignore any kind of request for them and do the opposite of that. A real coup, real insurrectionists, real people trying to stop the flow of government and the actual presidency and the Congress, the whole operation of government was manipulated from within. And I think that's called the fifth column. Just saying. They're ready to do that. None of those people got arrested. They were out there doing the same old crap. The racial inequality. Hey, in 1965 when we had the race riots, guess what we used then too? Oh, we used racial stuff. What did that turn out to be? Who were the people pushing that the most? The communists were. They used the same words, the same things back then. And they said the same thing that the British said this time. We're going to go in, we're going to create a situation with a racial tension, and we're going to make it explode. How do I know that's true? Well, they said they would do it. They said it in writing. They said it in public. Because they couldn't have Donald Trump make a second term, and they couldn't have another Brexit where people were able to get the information, spread it, and do something about it in a quick manner. They had to slow it down. Because that's not okay. They need to do what they're told, when they're told, and how they're manipulated to do it. And what's going on? I'm pissed because the powers that be are coming down around us. And I don't know if you see it or not, but these people are coming closer and closer to taking what our norms are for justice and free people, and they're just throwing it away. When Black Lives Matter can go run around and do this stuff, and Antifa can run around and do this stuff unimpinged, it's not okay. And this is just your FBI and your NSA doing it and being okay with it.
Our undercover inside the Sunrise Movement was able to obtain exclusive video footage inside Zoom chats.
Can you hear this?
Where Shutdown DC,
Discord
BLM,
banned
and
thousands.
other leftist
Yes.
organizations are coordinating a multi-level coup action exercise utilizing insider help from Democrat Party members as well as federal employees and intelligence.
Sorry, you back that up and stop talking and let you kind of hear her a little bit.
Coup action exercise utilizing insider help from Democrat Party members as well as federal employees and intelligence contractors.
I'm a management and programs analyst.
I work in the national security community.
I spent 3.5 years as a contractor at DHS HQ.
If you read the mainstream press, like they all have Signal accounts, text them, leak everything you can. The journalists I've dealt with have been super ethical in ways to shield me, to be the source of the leaks.
Groups on the outside being able to show solidarity with federal workers.
Making sure that we're naming what is happening as a coup.
Totally agreed in the shutdown DC conversations that I've been having, and that's not on the federal side. We also are often saying, like, call it a coup.
They plan to shut down Washington, D.C. and other major U.S. cities starting November 4th until Inauguration Day.
Do we have any plans for how to respond if there's a coup?
Come to BLM Plaza anytime after 4 p.m. on election night. On the 5th, we're going to shut down the White House.
Map the White House and know every access point so we knew we could blockade it.
On the 6th, we're going to shut down larger parts of Washington, D.C.
We've been working on a target map.
Aha, this lady right here. This lady is the one who orchestrated it on the ground. Right here. It's not her name, by the way. This is the one. She's the one that talks about having the guns. She's the one that was outside the front gate of the White House as Trump flew off in his last day.
Map and a framework for scenario. So where are all the police stations? Where are all the key government buildings? Who are the Trump boosters?
Members of Congress that are coming in, we're going to meet them at the airports or at Union Station and send them back to where they came from until we deal with the situation that we're in.
We are going to be in a crisis, but we want it to be one that we are creating. Whoever's got the guns can win. Let's take over the buildings. If there are people that are willing to do that, we should.
Hello. What's this document here? What a strange document. It almost looks like it's CIA document, doesn't it? But the CIA would never, ever do that. What's going on with that picture? I'm going to fix that, baby. I need to shrink off that down. There we go. And doop. So, this is a document coming up telling you how to do your black bloc stuff. Yep.
Support them. Get ready to shut your city down on the 4th or the 5th.
Regardless of who wins, the left plans to take over.
So, That's Millie Weaver, and I'm not entirely sure what happened to her, but I think she got scooped up in some kind of treason charges against her right now. So that's not so good. She's from all intents and purposes that I can tell you, she's a good person. I don't know other than that to tell you anything different. I'm trying to get some old pictures of some other things that they were doing. But the FBI knew about these people. They were the ones that were doing all this stuff in the background. Let's see here what I got. Here's their symbol, by the way, Sunrise Group. They take kids, young kids, and they in high school and stuff, and they indoctrinate them into this crap. Oh, that's the document I remember. I want. Let's see here. NSA spying never happened. Look away. Pelosi agreement to Capitol Sergeant in arms triggered security lapse and riot, but you'll never hear about that, will you? No, she would never do something like that. Where is it? That's the 14th Amendment stuff that I am not an expert on. So I don't do that. What's this here? Oops. Ooh. Archived documents. Interesting. Huh. Well, we don't want to dox anyone there, do we? Huh. Interesting. How'd that get there? All quiet on the ISIS front. Yeah, really. Huh. Amazing. That's weird how they would do that. Let's see here. Spiderfoot and Rob Tech are industrial standards. Digital. Oh, this is sort of the evidence from the election time. I wonder if any of this looks familiar to you. Just out of curiosity. I'm sure this doesn't look familiar at all here to you. Oh, wow, no, not that. Ooh. Oh. Huh. I wonder if anybody would ever have submitted this stuff to Tori and somebody else named Spider to give them information. This does not look familiar here. But what I didn't get is why didn't they catch the Serbia thing? That was the weird part for me, is they didn't catch the Serbia. You know. Wait a minute, where's my document I wanted? I have a document. It's got everything on it. Like, they timed it out. They had it all ready to go. Alright. We're going to get into some... This is a very interesting document, too. I don't understand it yet. I have to look into it. But there's a whole bunch of stuff from these chuckleheads. We will... I don't know what that is. Misinformation. Oh my God, right? So, just real quick. You've been tagged, tracked, and tracked. Tagged and tracked, tagged and tracked. They used the DARPA program, thanks to McChrystal and some other chuckleheads, and they went through and they said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to tag and track all these guys. And they did a good job of it, too. And they used these special programs that would map out who all the Trump supporters are and how they're supporting and what the kind of aspect they're in on it. And then they systematically kicked us off all social media networks right before the election. They disenfranchised us. Now that brings up two things. Now we get to the good stuff. The pictures, the graphics. There we go. So that's kind of splotchy and stuff, but this kind of tells you what Trump supporter, converse, hard conservative, and other. There's a lot of other there. Isn't there a lot of other? for supporters? I wonder. That's a pretty good spot there, people, you know? I'm thinking that's like 2/3 of the population there. That's weird. Huh. But that scared the crap out of them. Right there, like, oh my God! He's got a lot of support. We need to do something. Like kick them all off the internet. U.S. right. Liberals. Uh-oh. Look how tiny that is. It's a tiny little sloth. Huh. European right. So the European right and the American right are two different things. That's why they like to use the European right on us. It's not the same. It's like Antifa is the neo-Nazis of the past. Part of the manipulation that happened here, and this helped them do the analytics, was they went to Facebook and Mark Zuckerberg said, hey, how can we manipulate some like key 6 districts into making the votes turn out the way we want them to? And they used your analytics and everything you had there to put it all together and make it happen without our knowledge or anything like that. And then he paid them to do it. And then he used ballot boxes too, drop boxes. How is that not rampant for fraud? How is that not something that Bill Barr should have looked into? Oh, you know why he didn't look into it? Because he's not supposed to. He totally threw us on the bus there. Here's a really important one. You've heard of the Smith-Month Modernization Act, right? That is the one that allows these chuckleheads to what's that? Real National Agency to stop it. Why are you so big? I forgot where I was now. Election fraud. Bill Barr. Oh yeah. PDF. Totally amazing things. I pay these guys to say that. No, that's the other side that does that. My blanket. Bill Barr didn't investigate anything that looked like it needed to be investigating or cross that line when it got there. Like the whole year that they had Biden's laptop. In September of 2020, the Congress came out with a report on it saying that was all bad information. That was all evidence of them and their corruption. The same supposed Joe Petto, who's giving all the infrastructure information to Russia and China right now. Don't hit these places here. Okay, great, good job. But the information from the Smith-Month Modernization Act. Speaking of that, I put it on my information when I do a video every time, and I say hi. Thanks to NDAA 2017, signed by Obama and passed by the Republican House and Senate, just before Trump came into office. They cannot. Why can't we alter the amendments? This is actually the wrong one. This is the wrong one. So we're going to switch this real quick and go back and grab one like this one here. Oh my God, I love this video. It cracked me up so much. Beep, 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 beep. Smith-Month Modernization Act of 2012. What? What do you say? Rush Rep. Inspected transparency standards is unconstitutional in Americans. So what I got down to is, how do you change the Constitution? Because that's what they did. They Congress allowed the State Department to dictate what we say in America. That's who runs the Smith Modernization Act. That's who runs the Board of Governors and the airwaves. Okay, so Constitution Article 5 requires that an amendment be proposed by 2/3 of the House and Senate, or by a constitutional convention called by 2/3 of the state legislature. It is up to the states to approve the new amendment with 3 3/4 of the states voting to verify it. Okay, so that's supposed to happen and didn't happen. To take your amendments away and to change those things. That's how it's supposed to go. And it didn't. That guy cracks me up. He sets a tune. So, real quick.
Sows among the masses hate, revulsion, and scorn toward those who disagree with us. Members and front organizations must continually embarrass, discredit, and degrade our critics. When obstructionists become too irritating, label them as fascist or Nazi or anti-Semitic. Constantly associate those who oppose us with those names which already have a bad smell. The association will, after enough repetition, become facts in the public mind.
By duping the American public into turning a deaf ear to the voices of warning because the topics were controversial or because the patriots themselves had been ridiculed as extremists, racists, fright peddlers, the conspirators were ready to move one step closer to their hidden goals by precipitating mob violence.
Riots, demonstrations, street battles, detachments of a revolutionary army. Such are the stages in the development of the popular uprising.
You couldn't make it any more accurate if you tried. Mind-boggling, baffling. How did that ever happen? That's amazing. Do you guys want to laugh? You guys want a good laugh here right now? I got a good laugh for you. I did all the credits to him and stuff like that. You see I got a bunch of views on it and stuff. You really need to see this. This is freaking hilarious. Now, before I start it, I'm going to make it full screen and I'm going to hop off here so you don't have to see my stupid head. And you're going to love this. Sorry.
I believe that what makes America exceptional is the fact that we're a meritocracy.
I like how she's going for that villain from the Hunger Games look, though. Isn't that nice? I don't know if you could. I don't know if you could notice.
It's appropriate.
She actually meant a meritocracy, meaning the U.S. just has rules everywhere. I think that's what she means.
A meritocracy.
Yeah. Wait, we're a meritocracy. Don't you know who my dad was? I bet at least she didn't say it's a democracy, because that would have been truly funny. Right? Hey, breaking news. Meghan McCain doesn't understand irony. This is a meritocracy, and I did this on my own. There has to be at least one person in that studio who bit clean through their lip when she said that. So I just want to, just so I can play this for you.
My father, 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 I mean, my father, 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 father, my father, my father's my father, 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 my father's my father, 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 my father's my father, 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 my father's my father, my father, my father's my father, my father, my father.
My favorite one is my father. That's my favorite one so far. So
to be clear, that was sped up. I sped that up on purpose because that's how much she had. It just kept on going.
That's my favorite. My father. I like that's my favorite. There's more.
My father's my father, my father's my father, 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 my father,
My father, my father.
I am John McCain's daughter.
And now here's what I really think of when I think of Meghan McCain. Here's what I think of.
Before my father died, I had a baby with him. And it will be raised in captivity. It'll be raised privately to be the greatest politician that has ever lived. My name is Meghan McCain, and I'm on a news show called The View. And Donald Trump, that fucking riverboat casino captain, is talking shit about my father again. My father was tortured for 100 years for this fucking country, and he came back and he started 7 wars because he's a gentleman. Fuck you, Trump. I'm gonna wear my father's skin mask, and I'm gonna primary Trump from the right. Come on The View, bitch. If you're that tough, come on The View. You want it, Alessandro Ocasio-Cortez? You want this shit? You wanna fuck these tits, Trump? You wanna fuck these tits? No, you don't. You wanna suck cock. But I won't fuck you because the only person I'll fuck is Daddy. I'll fuck his corpse. I'll fuck Daddy's corpse.
Oh my God. So, boom. That's my touch to the end there. So, sorry about that. It's not a kid show. I thought that was freaking hilarious. I hope you did too. God, so darn funny. I want. Oops. Oh, good grief, Charlie Brown. There we are. The end there. Oh, there we go. I got the chat up so I could see what's going on. Yeah, I thought that was pretty darn funny. Yeah. That was it was just classic history. Gotta love it. All right, good. I'm glad you guys liked it. See that guy right there? This is the Sunrise Group. These guys are freaking unhinged, man.
Capital. This is known as an act of insurrection, an act of sedition.
So if you listen to the words they're using right now, the FBI. There we go. Dummy. No. So listen to the FBI and what they're saying right now about patriots. She's saying a bunch of stuff happened to her, but if you watch this in the Sunrise Group and what they did.
Pursuing the most progressive energy agenda that this country has ever seen.
They had hundreds of people, kids, arrested.
I have a message for any.
Arrested for stopping Congress and their ability to pass legislation. They did. Stopped it. Bam. Yeah, he's a funny guy. I like him.
Anyone who is resigning after Wednesday, too late. Too late.
Too late.
You're not going to resign after Wednesday and act like you weren't a part of it. Were you secretary on Wednesday? Yes, you were. You were a part of it. Were you secretary every single step leading up
He's
to
one of the
Wednesday?
radicals. You
Yes.
see him in a lot of their stuff right now.
And this is a generational wound that we're going to have to fix. Because Ted Cruz can hang it up and leave. Josh Hawley can hang it up and leave. McCarthy can hang it up and leave. But they edge this on every step of the way.
Wow. I'm Jeremy. I'm 20 years old, he, him pronouns. Listening from Watertown, Massachusetts, land of the Nanton people. My heart is thumping in my chest. It's totally thumping.
Because the amount of people that have been radicalized in this country.
I was in an apartment with my partner Rachel and her roommates, and we were playing cards. And we heard a sound outside the window. And we went and we pressed our faces up against the window and we saw people marching, saying Breonna Taylor's name again and again. And Rachel grabbed my hand and said, "You want to go out there?" And my heart leapt. And I said, "Okay." And we ran down, we put on our shoes and we marched with people. And we said Breonna Taylor's name again and again, louder and louder. And it was like I was singing my own freedom. It was like we were envisioning a world where we keep each other safe from cops and disasters and hatred, where you and me can get up out of bed and greet the blue sky day.
Because they thought it would win them a freaking election. And now we have to clean up the mess.
Oh my God, that guy's scary. But these guys did it. They came in and they stopped him.
On behalf of our generation,
lock the doors.
Please let us speak with our armored staff. Back up! Do it now! Back up! Do it now!
And potentially a fifth.
I'm here to fight for my home, my family.
My bad. That was my bad. Here's where they get arrested. Sorry, you couldn't hear me there. Yeah, drugs. I don't know about that. I think MK Ultra.
In my future.
We can't bring back the folks who died because of Katrina. We can't bring back the folks who died because of Florence or Maria. What we can do is stand in this hallway and fight till we can't fight no more.
Well, literally, that's inciting people to fight or riot. It sounds like to me. I'm not an expert. I just used to be a military police officer, and I read the law, and it's pretty plain. But, God forbid we apply it equally and to every person. I'm just saying, Yeah. So I think that we should hold her to the same standard. Anyone else? Anybody else okay for that? I'm totally okay for that. I don't know if you ever saw this one. This is kind of weird. They went and fronted up on. They fronted off Dianne Feinstein. She loved it. She really did.
I've been doing this for 30 years. I know what I'm doing. You come in here and you say it has to be my way or the highway. I don't respond to that. I've gotten elected. I just ran. I was elected by almost 1 million vote plurality. And I know what I'm doing. So, maybe people should listen a little bit.
I hear what you're saying, but we're the people who voted you. You're supposed to listen to us. That's your job.
How old
I'm
are you?
16. I
Well,
can't
you didn't
vote.
vote for me.
Well, I'm voting for
It doesn't matter. We're the ones who's going to be
Words
impacted.
mean something.
It doesn't matter. We're going to be the ones who are impacted.
I understand that. I have 7 grandchildren. I understand it very well.
Senator, the cost of
And-
not taking this action is far higher than the cost of what the Green New Deal will be. And there
Here's
is
what-
enormous popularity for this bill around
Okay.
the whole country.
Here's
And we're
what
asking you to
we
be
are
brave and
proposing.
do this for us and for your grandchildren.
I'm 16 years old. I walked out from Cleveland High School. We're fighting for our future. Why be in school if we're not going to have a future?
We can introduce legislation, but if the movement work is not happening, we're not going to win. And so you have to be doing this kind of incredible movement work.
Because the amount of people that have been radicalized in this country.
Our undercover Inside the Sunrise Movement was able to obtain exclusive video footage inside Zoom chats where Shutdown DC, BLM, and other leftist organizations are coordinating a multi-level coup action exercise utilizing insider help from Democrat Party members as well as federal employees and intelligence contractors.
I'm a management and programs.
It's the one we saw earlier. Yeah, they got lots of stuff in here. Yeah, my sound's up good. One of the things that you'll see, I need to show you this one next. One of the things you'll see, like on the Adam Schiff stuff, is they never have anybody sticking up for the QAnon people. They never have anybody counter their stuff. They never have anybody say, oh, you know what, though? How about the Sunrise people? How about the ones who said they were going to have guns? They never talk about that. Never do. Never, ever. And I just can't stand this guy. Yeah, many reasons why. We could get into the all ones and all that kind of fun stuff. But this is the one you need to see and understand what it is we're really dealing with here. Oh, this one here. Yes, I understand that it's provocative. This hits home with a little stuff like George has been talking about.
Powerful. You can make a whole difference in 2016. You can change the reality of our time. This is the time for us as American Muslims to be in the front, not to retreat, because all of you are leaders. Your votes are your negotiating power in the year 2016. Turn your centers, Islamic centers, mosques, into registration centers for voters. Black Lives Matter is our matter. Black Lives Matter is our campaign.
Basically, you are the new black people of America. If we don't stand, you will see Muslims murdered in the streets. We are the community that staged a revolution across the world. If we could do that, why can't we have that revolution in America?
Well, you know, sometimes the best way to get a point across is let them speak for themselves, right? Let them just stand up there and say it. So, that's crazy. That is crazy. Why would they say that? That's just amazing that they would get up there in front of the world and go, "Ha-ha! Got you!" Beep, beep, beep. And then there's the good old favorite of mine. When did and why did Congress, yes they did, trigger Article 5? Oh, that's not the right one. This one is.
And so in the same way, I think it's very, very important. We will always be here. One of the things I wanted to mention very quickly, because we've spent a lot of time talking about Afghanistan, from the Munich conference and here. We've spoken with General Secretary Stoltenberg about it. We've spoken with Ambassador Hutchinson as well. And our message is a very strong one. We know that women's rights are enshrined in their constitution. But we're going to be a little skeptical. as things move forward and we await some of the announcements regarding hope for negotiations, hope for a ceasefire. And what's important to recognize is that we're not just talking about women's rights. We know that in the United States as well, just being at the table, why that's important is not always the full answer, but it's having what we call agencies. It's having influence. It's having the ability to change, to mold, to be certain that families are protected, that the country can thrive. And that's one of the things that NATO cares about. We triggered Article 5. We triggered Article 5. Triggered Article 5. We are together on that, and we appreciate the fact that our NATO colleagues and countries are with us.
I'm not sure if you need to know what triggering Article 5 is, but basically this just tells a quick, brief summary of it. So to be clear, in February of 2020, without telling anybody or being on the news hit it from us, the media did, for 3 months, that Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, took 40 plus members to Congress and triggered Article 5 against Donald Trump, saying that he is a Russian agent. Now, I can't specifically tell you that it's a Russian agent that he said, or he's working with them, but I know they triggered Article 5. And at the end of this, they thank Putin for it. Well, this is kind of handy here. Watch this jackass. Tell me this isn't a fortuitous little... yeah, I'm going to have you watch the whole thing because there's some pills there you got to take. You're going to love it.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As the Speaker mentioned, I was an Army physician for a long time, and it actually has assisted me in my congressional career. We recently had the coronavirus break out, and in my former life, I worked in the Army Institute of Research Institute of Infectious Diseases up at Fort Detrick. So it was very helpful to be able to call up my old pals and ask them some questions about that. And so I've enjoyed my time up here.
Isn't that strange that he would bring that up like that? Very, very strange. Yeah, it's really weird that he brought that up like that. So, it's almost like it's planned. He was a congressman. I don't remember his name right now. Humperdinck Dubbeldorf. By the way, Chris, there is a best thing this is the best thing I've ever seen on YouTube. Thank you. Thank you. Look at that. Bill Gates. It's with them. And something wrong? Something happened with them?
I also want to say there's a complete 100% commitment on the part of America to remaining in NATO and making sure it remains strong. And I think that is, as the speaker said, a very bipartisan attitude.
This is one of the congressmen, Keating, said afterwards, "We will hang together or we will most assured hang separately after NATO." This is part of the speech posted on the website for the Speaker of the House. The transcript from one of those. This was in February of 2020 that they did this. Right after the failed impeachment. February 2020. And I abbreviated the end of this. I didn't want to hear all
We
the
must
crap.
all hang together, or most assuredly, we shall all hang separately.
Good afternoon. I'm Adam Schiff. Russia. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Congressman Gregory Meeks, building a bridge.
Hello, my name's Steve Lynch. Russia. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Jackie Singh. We are so much stronger together than apart.
Ass clown here.
Good morning. My name is Jerry Connolly. We want to thank Vladimir Putin for bringing us all together to reaffirm those values.
Pelosi's face. It made me disgusted. I was so disgusted to see that. Yeah, so the media never covered that. It was like, when they went over there, I had 6 researchers, good researchers, try and scout the internet with me to find what happened, and they couldn't. About 2 months later, I found it on the internet. I was like, huh, really? So that's treason in my book, but who can declare war? It's only one group. Yep. Biomancers here. Woohoo! Thanks, buddy. Yeah. They totally knocked it out of the ballpark there. So remember when he said in their own words, Black Lives Matter not only hates white people and think they should die, but they are witches too, in their own words.
Very interesting news. I'm not even going to say too much, actually. Let's just listen to this. Okay.
You know, and my tradition, you offer things that your loved one who passed away would want, you know, whether it's like honey or tobacco, things like that. And
I'm talking about offerings from like voodoo type stuff. It's a kind of religion in Africa. It's witchcraft, and then they put some of their books and stuff and spells and stuff like that on the page here. It comes up, but this is them saying with themselves.
It's so important, not just for us to be in direct relationship to our people who've passed, but also for them to know we've remembered them. We should be honoring them in all the ways, whether it's protesting through art, you know, through putting up signs on the freeway. Like they want us to remember them because they know what they know what it takes for them to be remembered. So it's a very important practice. Hashtags are for us are way more than a hashtag. It is literally almost resurrecting a spirit so they can work through us to get the work that we need to get done.
Right. You said a lot of things important, but you said something important about
So basically they're saying that they need the spill the blood and all that other stuff to do the ritual and the hashtags and the words and yeah, da-da. And of course you've heard that they're practicing Marxists.
Purposes.
I think of a lot of things. The first thing I think is that we actually do have an ideological frame. Myself and Alicia in particular are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists. We are super versed on sort of ideological theories. And I think that what we really try to do is build a movement that could be utilized by many, many Black folk.
I've been honored and humbled to throw down.
Here's something that you probably didn't know. Asians for Black Lives Matter. Yes, the CCP. San Francisco and LA. Hello.
With folks over the last 7 to 8 months in the name of Black Lives Matter. And I've been really humbled by our co-conspirators, Asians for Black Lives.
The CPA is the Communist Party of China's main West Coast support group. Pam Ta Lee is an Asian for Black Lives member and a CPA leader.
I'm the chairperson and a founder of the Chinese Progressive Association. That our roots start back in the 1930s, who were our mentors, and they came out of around the Depression, and they were socialists, they were communists.
Alex Tom is a founder of Asians for Black Lives and a former chief executive officer of the CPA.
There is a part of the left that has always been really curious and lifting up the role of China. So that is like the Chinese Progressive Association was one of the first organizations to even lift up the revolution in Chinatown, right? Our history basically is founded on people's friendship in China.
In 2013, Alex Tom led a delegation of American radicals to communist China.
We started to be able to have access to coming into China. So we built relationships with people in the party, activists underground, and also NGOs.
In 2016, Alex Tom and CPA official Lucia Lin produced a 300-page revolutionary manual for Asians for Black Lives and BLM activists. Alex Tom has known BLM co-founder Alicia Garza since their student activist days at UC San Diego in the late 1990s.
Actually, I think it was my friend Alicia Garza.
Alex Tom helped Garza and fellow BLM founder Patrice Coolers form ties with the Southeast Asian Freedom Network, a coalition of Laotian, Cambodian, and Vietnamese radicals. Alex Tom, Alicia Garza, Lucia Lin, and Pam Ta Lee are all members of Left Roots, a front for the pro-communist China organization Liberation Road. In 2014, after traveling to communist China with Alex Tom, Lucia Lin visited Ferguson, Missouri, with her BLM comrade, Alicia Garza. Lin and Garza met with Liberation Road communist Jamala Rogers' Organization for Black Struggle.
Isn't this just flippin' mind-boggling, folks? It's just keeps getting better, and these people are promoted by the left. Our person known as the vice president paid for people to get out of jail, prison, or jail for this. They supported, knowingly, communists, the CCP. And we're the bad guys because we're patriots. We want the rule of law.
The Liberation Road front group that organized the Ferguson riots.
You are powerful. You can.
I'll stop that there because you've already seen that. Yeah, all the companies that sponsor them. How could that be bad, right? Huh. Yep, all those companies right there. What's that? Rico? Something like that? Yeah. Bing, 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 bing. Eek, eek. So, with that said, I know I've said this before, some of you seen it, but would you think for a second that maybe, just maybe, Charlottesville wasn't like it was said to have been? I have some really funny stuff on here. It's really hard for me not to play it. This was me in Iraq. How about that? Huh? That'd be kind of neat. Real quick, the last time CNN was truthful.
outside the Pentagon, CNN's military affairs correspondent Jamie McIntyre. And Jamie, you got very close to where that plane went down.
That's right, Judy. A while ago, I walked right up to next to the building. Firefighters were still trying to put out the blaze. The fire, by the way, is still burning in some parts of the Pentagon. And I took a look at the huge gaping hole that's in this sideway, but from my close-up inspection, there's no evidence of a plane having crashed anywhere near the Pentagon. The only site is the actual side of the building that's crashed in, and as I said, the only pieces left that you can see are small enough that you could pick up in your hand. There are no large tail sections, wing sections, a fuselage, nothing like that anywhere around.
There we go. If you would imagine that, yeah, we'll play it, I guess. This is me getting shot at in Iraq. First of all, we were the 649th Military Police Company. We had special operations there where we became special operations for 4th Infantry Division. And we would go after terrorists and stuff. This is a horrible demonstration of it, but there's some interesting things to be said of it. This little tiny girl that's a gunner was my gunner for my vehicle, my squad. There she is.
Yes, his father's house.
Father's out
yes.
there.
And they want to call for the detention team up on the roof.
Okay.
To be clear, that's me right there. Some idiots I had down the end there got shot at, supposedly. Iraqis like to have weddings, and it's kind of like Mexico-ish. And they were shooting up in the air and having a little celebration going on, and these idiots were like, I think they're shooting at us, and so they started shooting at them. I'm like, wow, stop. It's out of sequence a little bit, because I used to be in front of them when they start shooting. That was me, and I do shoot here in a second. A warning shot. The guy tried to turn down our street. running in front of behind these idiots. What the hell are you doing? Anyways, that's enough of the army stuff. It's bad for you. Rots your brain. So, ECAT, I know that I mentioned Charlottesville. I know not everybody saw the Charlottesville thing, but I wanted to make sure that I touched on it. What do you think? Now you're on the spot now. You have a name to connect me with or someone? There, Act Truth. ECAT. I want to see more of your footage of me in Iraq, or because I have more footage in Iraq. We did a big raid where I was in charge of the ground stuff on the war. All right, let's see what this is. Jimmy Hoffa raids. I led the ground troops. My buddies were in the air on this one. Little background on this is Iraq, obviously 2003, 2004, Jimmy Hoffa raids. It's a guy who's a gangster, mobster, and Saddam let him out of prison when he came in, and so he would go around town and he would take women and rape them and kill them and stuff like that, and people in the street. And so we went and hunted his ass down. He was so wanted by Saddam that he actually had a plane drop a bomb on the guy. You want to see the 9/11 footage? There's an Egyptian interpreter that was with us, wanting to be a U.S. citizen. Some of the footage I did take myself. I was the company photographer. Some of it was taken by Reuters News. For instance, I was usually the guy who was driving through the front gate, like that was my vehicle right there that punched that door. I was either the first guy through the door or my vehicle was. Just to take on this, the Iraqis were actually pretty good people, like most countries. They are just like Americans, have same kinds of sense of humor, that kind of stuff. I have good friends that are still over there, and Iraqis, Muslim people that just want to be left alone and live their life, you know. And I had a hard time with a lot of it. Mainly the reason that we're there is to make sure the guy standing next to you or gal standing next to you came home. So, yeah. But they really hated getting in the dirt on the ground. They really hated that. But it was just really weird because they would all use the water out of the canal that had piss and poop in it and stuff, and they washed everything in it and bodies in it, and they're like, "It's what? And you're like, it's horrible water. What are you doing?" So, I'm just saying.
Hey, stop.
I joined the military at the ripe age of 26, turned 27 in basic training. At my young age of that, so it's interesting. Not a old man's job. It's definitely. Thanks. I'm not going to be upset anymore. Had a lot of time to deal with it. Thank you. I appreciate that, though. By the way, that's our battalion commander. That's the guy who wrote the book for the Army at the Pentagon on how to take down megacities. And that is what we implemented when we went to Syria. That's what we'd use in America right now if we were to do that.
Wait till
Hey, Gulo, we got everybody out down there? Where's Hunter? Let's get everybody stacked on the front. We're going to go across the street. Go.
That was my platoon sergeant looking for me. It was awesome and scary at the same time. At 27, it was really hard, but I couldn't see doing that as an 18-year-old. That would have been, that'll really F you up, man. Totally do that. So being older, it was a lot. You're able to put things in different perspectives and in a different box and stuff. Like I went there and I said to my girlfriend, "I love you, but I'm gonna break up with you because I can't have a girlfriend while I'm at war." And when I was in Iraq, I was, I want to say, 30, 2003, so 33, 34. Yeah. Yep. Got to pin my staff sergeant E6 when I was there. Of course, it was blood rank. It was north of Baghdad. It was the city of Bakuba, the province of Diyala. It was huge. We trained Iraqis how to be police officers there. And we became special operations for these guys because most of our guys were instructors like I was for the Army and their SWAT team, that kind of stuff. We ended up taking our SRT training and SWAT team training and put it into combat and redefined how we did raids as for the Army. When I say that, I mean literally we went on over 180 raids without having to kill anyone or shoot, except for that thing in the traffic issue there. But we never had to shoot someone in one of our raids. Over 180. And the Army was like, what? And so special forces guys and OGA, other government agency guys would show up and they'd be like, hey, let's go on a raid with you. Okay. And they would see how we did it and stuff. So afterwards, we were awarded the Valorous Unit Award It's like a Purple Heart for everybody. It's really supposed to be a big deal, but I think everybody got it 4th ID. But my platoon sergeant there was asking for me, went to Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and he helped instruct the Army there on how to do it. Then from there they changed Army doctrine for the whole lottie-dottie everybody on how to do things. That's why when I used to see ISIS run around doing the same things that I did, I was like, hey, we trained those guys. What up, Bo? What up with that? Yeah, no go. Yeah, there's a helicopter flying over right now. Loved hearing those boys over you.
I took about 162 guys in on my target, but it was a 2nd Brigade combat team operation where about 650 people took part in hitting about 25 different homes, raiding basically 3 objective areas, and the operation is ongoing.
So that was our easy way of taking care of how to identify people. Marker pen, and then we would use duct tape over their eyes to make sure they couldn't see where we're going, in and out of things. Not necessarily the best thing, but effective. And handcuffs were hard to come by there. Yes, that's my smells like Marxist in the morning. This is the video I did where Jaden X wanted to he did the copyright deal on me. First time I saw the Apache. Yep, I love to see him up there, man. That any kind of planet chopper that was out there, the Iraqis would disappear. There was like the turning on light in a room full of cockroaches, just poof, gone. Nowhere to be found. Oh, I know. Way down here at the bottom. Just how funny was it when we had ISIS taking people out the back door here in to crit, and then I said this in January 29th of 2017. Tell me how true today is it? It's quite an intro, so sorry. Yes, he is an informant. But I beat him on his challenge. People don't talk about how this started right away when Trump went in office this whole time. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, actually. I did this in January 2017. This is why my channel is hard to find. Nuggets like this. I have another one in here. Blow your flippin' mind. Yep, Coke. Roja. Very interesting. This one talks about Flynn, but the most important thing about it, and you can look at it some other time when you have more time. It's 35 minutes long. I'm not going to put you through that at all, but I wanted you to see, well, first of all, my favorite part right there. Says it all right there, buddy. I'm just saying. So this next part is Michael Flynn talking about all the stuff that we did. Hey, how come we're doing stuff with ISIS and so on and so on? And this is the documents that say, hey, look, we're giving stuff to ISIS right here. And him saying, if you do that, they're going to create the caliphate. And they're like, hey, why'd you let them create the caliphate? And they're like, I don't know. I told them that. Why did we do it? I don't know. But we did.
ISIS could also declare an Islamic state through its union with other terrorist organizations.
Yeah, I said this back in
Syria,
was it
which will create
March
grave danger in regards
2017?
to unifying Iraq and the
And that's why they got rid of him. He was too hot to handle. And so after that, then something weird happened. I was given a bunch of stuff on who ISIS was. And then I looked it up and I found a bunch of stuff on here. And this is the history of the Muslim Brotherhood and how all the different terrorist groups are actually connected to them. These guys say it in Arabic, in their own words, in their own training camps and everything. I don't know another place you can find this video. The patch. Oh, I would have been smoking hot if I saw that.
Why did you not stop that if you're worried about the rise of quote-unquote Islamic extremism?
I mean, I hate to say it's not my job, but my job was to ensure that the accuracy of our intelligence that was being presented was as good as it could be. And I will tell you, it goes before 2012. I mean, when we were in Iraq, and we still had decisions to be made before there was a decision to pull out of Iraq in 2011. I mean, it was very clear what we were going to face.
Well, I admire your frankness on this subject.
What we were going to face.
Let me just before we move on, just to clarify once more. You are basically saying that even in government at the time, you knew those groups were around. You saw this analysis, and you were arguing against it. But who wasn't listening?
I think the administration.
So the administration turned a blind eye to your analysis.
I don't know if they turned a blind eye. I think it was a decision. I think it was a willful decision.
A willful decision to go support an insurgency that had Salafists, Al-Qaeda, and
a
Muslim
willful
Brotherhood.
decision to do what they're doing.
Yeah, it was a willful decision to do it. No way around it. They knew what they're doing. Absolutely did. And so, like I said, you're going to watch it whenever you want. It goes through all this stuff here with the Arabic leaders telling you what they did. Not my job. Yeah, he did to inform Trump. Well, it's not that necessarily his job, but he can't do anything about it. He's just a soldier, you know. He's there to do what he's told. And he can't really do a whole lot. So yeah, this is it, man. Their words, everything translated, it's just boing. And when I got this file on them, it talked about Major Valley and him helping to pick out the ISIS groups and the base and that kind of stuff and secure the money and all that kind of fun stuff. Major General Valley, and there's another guy, Aquino. Yeah. And that's a deeper story yet. Yep. Yeah, that just, like I said, just keeps going and going, and it goes through all their stuff.
The Obama administration, CIA, and the Muslim Brotherhood, MB, have been working with members of Congress and the State Department to facilitate regime change and nation building in the Middle East. They called it the Arab Spring.
Yeah, just pick what you want to look at. I have it. Let me pull up the Aquino stuff. I just downloaded that again today because I wanted to talk about it with you guys. Right, volume's on. Yeah, it's working. Put that. You might. Where did I put that? Oh, I think I know where I put it. There we go. So, this is going to be really interesting. I'm going to pull this file over here and I'll let you see it all. This is everything in the world. So this is the folder I got from Anonymous. View. Okay. Anonymous gave me this, and it had a bunch of stuff in their campaigns on Twitter that they used to go after them. And I would go and I would grab documents and stuff like that, and they would talk about all the different things they did, the documentation to prove what was happening. But I couldn't do anything with it. Nobody would listen to me. How many people I went to, they didn't care. They were like, yeah, But Anonymous gave it to me. It was nice. I don't know who they were at the time. I think they were still. I was like, oh, isn't that neat? I gotta tell you, at first I was like, yeah, I'm not buying this. 666, really? So I think that was a total gag there. But I like it, though. It's funny. Need to know to pass a few names. Move you over a little bit. Oh, I gotta dip it. That's what happened. There we go. Deb, what do you mean? What are you asking? Very interesting. Yeah, it was really interesting at the time because it was before Trump and the QAnon thing happened, and I'd run into them, and they were nice enough to give me this and a bunch of information. Yeah, here's General Valley right here. He looks like. And the Kino stuff is another folder. That's a very interesting folder. So, like I said, here's Valley again. That's his information that we don't need to dwell on. But this was interesting too. And this actually was a company in the United States, and it had headquarters in D.C. They were really close to, I don't know, McNazi. So I don't know any of these guys or the legitimacy of the situation, but it didn't sound good for them. ISIS wasn't very happy with them. Russians became openly upset. Turks, yeah, they had a lot of very interesting stuff. And some of these documents here, they would have links to pastebin. And as far as Twitter goes and stuff, they would go and they would find, I'm trying to see if the links work at all. Oh crap, they do. Here we go. Oh, it's just instructions from the page. That's all it is. But they got all these accounts taken off. All these accounts taken off. There's a bunch of I would say accounts still on there that are still active, but not necessarily these old ones here. They did a really good job cleaning them off. I've checked most all of them. Huh, interesting. These guys were really good. Like I said, I don't know exactly why they let me in, but I didn't question it too much and took it. Confirmed. Okay. But this was a great way to investigate them from the backside. I think they were NSA guys, basically. I think that the guys who were doing Anonymous at the time had already been captured, taken in. Just FYI, again, we can now do this sort of thing directly in the Telegram without jeopardizing your YouTube channel. Right, but I didn't know how to get all the people in there besides just a group that already was in the channel themselves. Unless there's something else I don't know about. No. I did try my hand at singing. Can you imagine that? George sounded good today, by the way. Uh-oh. Did we go live? I made George sound too. Your treason arms will make you weep. You lied and lied. You're wading way too deep. Her sweep won't come. Her whole night blue. She needed the money. Your treason arms. Wow, you smell like food. When fears roll down, there goes the Russians too. You're lost your round, and you've got your name too. We'll lock the doors and get rid of the likes of you. Your treason arms. Adam Schiff, your breath smells like food. Really done a backdoor job on this swamp cooler, Adam Schiff. Please stop all the deep state duty. Adam Ship. Hey, dumb shit. You beat out Benedict Arnold for the most recent jerk ass in history. Just so you know. Your time has come. You're in too deep. Your treason heart will pass someday. You'll bear the love the Comey way. What's that mean? When fears roll down, there goes Ukraine down the drain. You fuss around and call Mueller's name. Mueller! You'll walk through the trap door. It's the last thing you'll ever do. Your treason heart has made you a fool in front of America and the world, too. You're the treasonous pile of shit. And soon, you might turn blue. Turn blue! Just saying. Okay, well, enough of that. I've only done one of those. Are you surprised? So I wanted to share with you a bunch of websites that'll help you in your hackery investigations that are really useful. I wrote them down for you. You may want to pick up at the beginning. Killing you. You guys funny. Yeah, funny. Oh yeah, we know about those guys, Nazis. No, open up. Okay, I'll close that one. Just keeps opening another one up. Nope, it's not that one. There they are. Got it. Okay, now we're set. Like I said before, I've used Shodan. I've showed you how to use Shodan. You want to do is find a device that you have or whatever. And I showed you this on the charrette type thing, and you punch it in. It'll search the internet for it, bring up the next things that have HRC that are connected to the internet. Very handy to do. And I would assume there'll be more on the internet now than there used to be because, well, it's Hillary. And she's a narcissist. So, they'll be on here. Pick a country. It's the United States. And then you want to narrow that down a little bit. And so on. And then this will also give you the vulnerabilities. You do reports, all kind of neat stuff with this, and then map it out where they're located. That's how I was able to locate the BlackBerry servers for George and the all one stuff. URL.io. Like I said, I have all these written down, and I'll get those for you in the chat. Copy. That's how I was able to locate the one. Hi, Chris. I can hear myself talking. That's weird. Bear dogs. Paste. And that one probably won't work. Oh, yeah, it all does. Engage. There you go. Yeah, I'm my own channel, so I don't get. Oh, you know what? I'm logged into someone else here. That's weird. Anyways, I'll get back to that in a second. The weird thing about this one here, if you get an account with it, it keeps a record of your stuff. So like when I go back here, I can go look at all the stuff that I've looked up, like my submissions for research. I can go back all the way to the first time I looked up the Awan brothers or whatever it was, and it'll tell me what it was. the results for it 3 years ago. WikiLeaks files, Discord, Placer River. What was that? Remember what that was? I know. Southern Charm will remember what that is. Hillary Clinton server. Right? They captured it in time, and so it's a great picture of that to see what was going on back then. That's also how I was able to pull in the Dominion stuff. And looking at that, Dominion had some pictures up there that said some stuff like, no matter what's going on, we're going to be here for you to figure out your election needs before, after, during, and between the next one. So there's a lot of flags here that aren't American, so you can see it right away that a while back it was not going just to one place. This one here is another great program, or another website to do stuff. This is where I found on the backbone that Dominion went straight to Serbia. Alienware, awesome one too. That's got a lot of good information in it. I'm going to pull one of these up here real quick from the elections. Probably put Macamé. Oh, they changed everything, huh? Yep, they did. Okay, I'm going to try it anyway, see what they do. Oh, look at that. What do I do looking at that up? That's weird. So look at that. Ooh. Belgrade. Serbia. Dun dun dun. Pretty detailed. Got some great stuff here. Yep, it's all shut down. Sure the heck is. Man, that's crazy. Closed date 20th February. Yep. Interesting. X-Force with IBM also. Neighborhood Studios. Anybody ever push that one in? Huh. Inquiring minds want to know. Interesting. What does that say right there? Huh. Well, I'll be damned. Look at that now. Isn't that weird how they haven't gone to Russia now? That is funny stuff. Oh, these are great articles by this girl here. She writes stuff about the Capitol building and what's going on there, and this jackass. Totally Jack. Liar. 14,000 hours of footage. And oh, my new special one's gone, isn't it? I told a friend of mine that I wouldn't show anybody this one. Ha ha ha, Schulte. Let's see, we'll grab this one here real quick. Watch this one. This is worth every price of admission. Ready? Wow. Ooh, what happened there? Look at all those files you can see now. That's amazing. I wonder what that is right here. Or right there. Right there. Huh. That's weird. It's like it keeps getting bigger. You get to see everything you're missing. All in one snap of the wrist. Thank you. Holy moly. Yes, my pretty. Huh. It's like a crawler, but better. Anyways, don't want to show you all my tricks. You won't come back for the milk. And yes, thank you. Where is my screen for that? There it is. Oops. There we are, little chap. Worth the ticket. Yeah, it's worth tickets there. Sure is. So that's about it tonight. I got more stuff, but I don't want to waste your entire night. It's Friday night, and people probably have something they want to do, like, I don't know, anything else. But if you ever want to dig on stuff, or you want to look somewhere and find some stuff out, or you have questions, just let me know. I'm pretty much open all the time. I appreciate everybody coming in and watching this. There's a bunch of stuff I wanted to make sure that I put out there. So thank you. Thank you all. I appreciate it. And if there's anything I have here, just get with me, message me, Telegram or wherever, and I can get it all to you. Okay? You're not going anywhere, E-Cat? Well, we can go to Telegram and we can do all this stuff too. There is some stuff that we need to look at. I found a file on in the anonymous stuff there on a red cell for anonymous, and there's some files in there that need to be scrutinized. So, yep, thank you. I appreciate it. Anytime. Well, I wouldn't say good, but it's there. It's something. I'm not the whiz bang show guy, but I can get it out there. Let go. Oh, there was a song I wanted you to see. I asked even if I could play it. It's not mine, too. It's this guy. He's a little rough around the edges, but he's really good. And who did anybody want to see Charlottesville? Because I can get you the link for that. But it's all fake. Yeah. I mean, the girl really died, but she had a heart attack. So, just saying. Could have been done a little different. Melly Weaver, she's out. Where are you, bro? You know what? I think I put it in the... Yeah, there it is, in the video. Yeah. Here's, just real quick. You know what? It's a long video. I don't want you to have to go through the whole thing, but I'll end with it. How about that? Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. You know what? I think I put it in the... Here we go. Let's try. He's quite the funny guy, in my opinion. He looks like a lot, but he's a lot different than you would expect.
To fight myself, I dive so deep inside, feel like I died and I'm in hell, or I'm...
Here we go, and action.
I can't hide my frown, my smile is hiding from my mouth. I can't lie, my mind keeps finding time to fight myself. I dive so deep inside, feel like I died and I'm in hell, or I'm so high my eyes can't see the ground beneath the clouds. Don't look down. Don't look down.
You don't like him? I think he's interesting. I try to be open to as many people as possible and different ways of thinking things. Not that I accept them all, but in this time and age, I think that we can use all the allies we can get.
I tried to keep it quiet, silence on my cries for help. As long as I am rising till I'm upside down, I won't look down. This a meteoric rise, keep ignoring all the horror stories like so-and-so got way too famous and ended up killing himself with some pills and a knife. Ay, I am not the one who's gonna self-destruct, got it out the mud. I can